Hey everyone, it's Elizabeth. So for today's video, I thought I'd share with you how I plan for and pack for a vacation with 4 small children. I will note that all 4 children and myself were packed into the same bag. I'm going to try to show you how I did that. So when I start planning a vacation, I usually do the bulk of it in this binder. This is just a regular white binder. I got these at Costco, I think. In like a huge pack. I start out by going to this website, travelmath.com. You can punch in your beginning location, your start location, and then punch in your ending location, and it will estimate the total mileage, total hours, and then it will also give you the total cost for gas, which you can customize based on the price of gas where you're at. I blocked all that out, just that's what all the black is. It's really cool, and you can do multiple destinations, like as you can see here. It's really good for budgeting. This is where I always start. I will try to link it below, but it's really easy to remember. It's travelmath.com. Then I will go over my to-do list, like what I want to get done before we leave and what I need to do to get packed and cleaned and stuff like that. Then I will have a packing list. It usually looks something like this. This is just a template that I made up really quickly because I lost the original, but I will always have all of our names listed out, and also separate categories. Like this past time we went for Christmas time, so I had a Christmas gifts category so that I knew we had all of our Christmas gifts. And then on the way back, I crossed out the ones that we had given away, and I wrote in what everyone had received so that we hopefully didn't leave anything. And I think we did really good. I think we only left a couple of small pieces to something. And then I have a miscellaneous category for things that like go in the car, or you know, just random things that don't actually go to a certain person. Then I will have a page, a list for things that I need to get, make, or buy. And then I have a pouch for game ideas, which we don't use a lot because, like I said in the previous video, they were pretty well entertained, so we rarely have to use them. We do talk, we do play. I don't usually have to refer back to the binder for it, though. This is, I don't remember what it was originally for, but we use it for, like, scavenger type, you know, thing, scavenger hunt thing. But I rarely pull out the page. I usually just, you know, do it out of my head, and they're pretty good about it. We also do an alphabet game similar for my 5-year-old because it helps her with her schooling, and she loves it because she knows her alphabet and she gets to point it out. Then I have extra color pages. I also had in these pouches, I had some gel window clings because I saw on Pinterest this really cool thing. It was actually for an airplane, where they took the gel window clings that you would use for like holiday decorating, and they let their kids put it on the window of an airplane. And so I thought it would be a really cool thing to do in the car. However, I did not get around to it. The first vacation that we had this year was in June, and we were going to the desert, so it was really hot, and somebody had mentioned that that probably wouldn't be a good idea because they could melt on the window, so I didn't try it. And then this winter we just never got around to it because we had too many other things. But it is a nice thought, and I may still use it in the future, but we just didn't use it this time, so I took it out of the binder. But yeah, so that's the binder part of it. That's most of my written planning portion of it. Now we'll get on to packing. So my packing consists of a few different bags. This was a bag for myself and all 4 girls. I was actually able to pack them all and myself in this one bag. It was pretty awesome, and I impressed even myself. I don't know what that is. It's a rolling duffel bag. I want to say it's the large size, but I can't remember, from Walmart. I will try to link it below, but it's in their travel section. And then this one is like a toiletries bag. I cannot remember exactly where I got it. I think it was a door prize from like I don't know, I feel like it was the staff party or something at a summer camp that I worked at, but I can't remember. I've had it for a long time, but this is where I put all of our shampoos and soaps and, you know, toiletry stuff. I also put them in individual gallon Ziplocs or quart-size Ziplocs so that if anything busted open, it would only get on itself. Like, I put all of the body wash and shampoos in one Ziploc, all of the toothbrushes in one, toothpaste in another, you know, stuff like that. And I separated as best I could so that nothing would get gross. And then for myself, for entertainment, I had this backpack. I got this at Walmart years and years ago. I think before I got married, but I don't remember. But I use and abuse it, and I just packed like my camera, my computer, you know, stuff that I would use in here. This was all just for me. And then I had another bin, like the one that I had for the toys for diapers. It looks similar to this, but it was much more packed. So I had the smaller size on one side, and then my 3-year-old who wears them at night, I had like a half of this box for her, and the rest of it was for them. And then I had a wet bag in case we needed to change somebody's clothes while we were on the road. And then I had these bags in case we had to change a diaper and there was no trash can. This used to be full of wipies, so I did have this one. I also had a bigger thing, but this was the one for the car. I had their eczema creams and stuff, and diaper cream, and their lotion. And that was how I did that one. I also had one of these that contained my essential oils and like bath bomb stuff, because I was supposed to make bath bombs with some friends and family, but we just never got around to it, so that one didn't really get used, but it was packed. I try really hard to only pack the essentials, and when packing clothes, I try to pack only bare minimum. Like, I think I packed 5 outfits and then 2 sets of PJs and about 8 pairs of panties and 4 pairs of socks per kid, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not. And then about this, I think 4 or 5 pairs of like, or 4 or 5 shirts for myself, and then like 3 or 4 pairs of pants, and you know, stuff like that, as small as I could, because I knew we would be in places where we could do laundry, and so I planned on doing laundry. So I think part of how I was able to fit all of us in one suitcase was the method of folding. I have recently been introduced to the KonMari method of doing things. I had always folded, oh, well, I say always, for about 4 years I had folded shirts that way. I just didn't know where it was from, but I saw it on Pinterest and I thought, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So I did it, and then I was introduced to the rest of her method and her book, I think about 6 months ago, and I've started implementing it. So I'm going to show you how I fold sleepers. I'm not sure if it's entirely her method, because she didn't really explain how to do baby clothes in her book, but I kind of winged it based on, you know, how she told to fold everything else. So I fold it in half. Sleepers has been one that people are constantly asking about, so I figured I'd show you this one first. And then I will fold the arms down, and then from the feet up, I will fold usually in about 3 or 4. For their dresser, I have to do it a little smaller because their dressers are not very deep. So I have to make it kind of short. Otherwise, it's not going to fit. For the suitcase, though, I just fold it however I can make it stand. And it's pretty compact. I mean, this is also a smaller size, though. I think this one's size 12 months. So I'm going to also show you how I do the 5T because it's much larger, and I actually don't do it quite the same because it is so long. You can see it. It's pretty big. So instead of doing it like that, because that would get really thick and it would take up way too much space, I will take it from the feet and then I fold it all the way up to the neck, and then I will fold that from this crease here, 1 and then 2. And it's still pretty thick, but it's not near what it could have been. So that's how I do that one. And then I also do these shirts and the onesies that way as well, and the little pants and stuff. And then I do my own that way, but I usually have to fold it a little bit more than 3 or 4 times. But as long as it stands up, you know, that's the key. And as long as it's semi-compact. My pillow's in the way, it's not letting me fold easily. This method is also really cool because even my 5 and 3-year-old can fold their own clothes. Now, I don't make them do the whole load, but they definitely help a little bit. And it definitely takes a little bit of a load off of me most days, unless they really don't want to, and then it's a fight, but that's okay. So when I packed their suitcase, I put all of my clothes on this side, and it took up to about here. I had, like I said, about 2 or 3 sets of pants, and then 1 set of pajamas, and then I think 4 or 5 long sleeve shirt, and then I think I packed 1 or 2 short sleeves, and then of course my non-mentionables in there as well. And then I had my 3-year-old here in the middle. She only took up 1 row because I stacked them. And then my 5-year-old was here, and she took up like 2 spaces here, and then I stacked the rest. And then down here on the bottom, I had my 1-year-old and my 2-year-old, and then I did have like a large sweater that I couldn't fold, and I laid it flat, as well as a couple of dresses for the girls. And then on this side pouch, I did all of their socks and panties and stuff like that in here, but I had them in Ziplocs. So I had like the 5-year-old's panties and socks in 1 quart size Ziploc in here, and then the 3-year-old's in 1 quart size, and so on and so forth. And that worked out really, really, really well. And then in this small little zipper pouch here, I put their school books, because we only had like 2 or 3 at the time. We were just starting out, and she's only in kindergarten, so I packed those in there, and that worked out really, really well. So that's the basics of how I plan and pack for a family vacation. If you have any questions or suggestions, put them in the comments below. If there's anything that you would like for me to make a video about, put that in the comments below as well. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. And until next time, bye!